You can get traffic in loads of different ways. You can do cold outreach. You can do cold emails. I used to do cold calling like right at the start, which I absolutely despise. But cold calling, that's the way. Traffic is just getting eyes and getting the people to find you. So you can either go to them, you can bring them to you with the content or with the adverts. You can rely on referrals. Traffic is different forms. But again, I get you to do ads for a reason, because it is just the best and the most predictable. Once you've got a cheap advertising system that works, you know every day it's bringing you like, Lisa, I don't even know how many months has your ad been live? Three or four, and still you're getting the right people through. And so if you spent the same amount of time and energy creating content, you wouldn't have had that many people that are that good. So that's why we do the ads. And again, to give you an example, the guy who joined the other day, who I showed the message of, that Luke guy, he's relied on organic content, and one of his posts went viral, and he got like, it keeps going up like 20,000 views a day, and he's getting bombarded with followers, but it's not the right people. So he can use the messaging process that I've shown all of you guys, but a lot of it is just a waste of time. And he's an army guy and it's in his army outfit, so a lot of it is just like mums who fancy him. It just so he's not like. So yeah, that's why ads is the best essentially. And then yeah, so with the ads we're doing, obviously remember we're doing direct response marketing. That's what it's called. So we're essentially saying to people, like, if you're this person, so we're giving them something in exchange for something in return, right? So that's essentially what it is. It's direct response. So the marketing that we're doing, we're just getting people to take action. So the big companies that you'll see, like on the radios, and for example, who just play their ads with no call to action, that's just for awareness. But we want sales, we want people coming in. So everything that you do marketing-wise, just remember you want a response from it directly. And a concept that I've learned as well, why adverts are so important, is you do have to spend money to make money. Like I went through a long period in my journey where I didn't think you had to, and I would just try and soldier on and do the outreach and try and do it all on my own. But a massive lesson that I've learned on this journey in total is that you do have to spend to get it back. And that's why ads is doing that. And again, this is where the tracking comes in that I've shown you guys while we're tracking it, because you know, right, if I spend X amount on an advert, I get a customer, or I spend X amount, I get a call, and then it becomes systemized. It's a maths equation. You're not guessing when a post's going to go viral and things like that. So that's why we do it and why it's important. Now ads, just to you understand the principle of an advert, you can run any type of ads, doesn't really matter. The basic fundamental understanding of an advert is what you're doing is you're giving, or you're offering value in the advert and an opportunity to find a customer. That's it. So the way, if you think of it in how we're doing it, we're saying, I'm going to help you with your problems with my content. All you have to do is follow me back. That's the exchange. If you do a PDF or a lead magnet, it's like, if you want help with this issue, I'm going to give you a PDF, but in exchange, I want your name, email, and your phone number. So that is all you're doing with advertising. You're not trying to sell your coaching. You're not trying to immediately get people on a call. You're just trying to get them to click. And like it says here, the sole job of an ad is just to get the right person to click. And that's why I've given you all that script with the ad. Plug and play in the niche, the avatar, their problems. That is all an advert's job is just to get the right people to click on it. Same with like Lisa. I said the right things, it got the right person to click with pretty much everyone here. So that is the job of the ad. And again, now going to the beaker, why we're actually doing it this way. So a funnel approach, as all of you will know it, is, so the way to understand these is they're just approaches to lead generation. Like this is made up, this is essentially made up. It's just an approach and a way to think about it instead of it just being up in the air. The reason a typical funnel, the way that I see it, is like you run an advert, you give somebody like a PDF or a webinar or a masterclass, you ask for their email, their phone number back, and then you give them something. What a lot of you would have seen by doing these types of ads or doing these approaches is that you will get people that opt in that you never hear from again. They don't see who you are and they don't see your expertise or who you are personally. They don't see the shop front, so to speak. And it's impossible to get in touch with the majority of these people. And to make it work, you have to then have very complex or skilled skill sets to convert them, right? And again, going back to a lot of you, what resonated with my messaging is I say coaches are coaches. You're not salesmen, you're not marketers. When you do it this way for cold traffic, you're going to have to wear that hat of a salesman and a marketer because you need the skill set to convert. So the reason that we're doing it this way is because it just makes it easier for you to get the traffic and to convert it. So by getting people to follow our page and to keep seeing our content for free, it's low friction, so it's easy for them to get in. And then there's no reason for them to leave because everything you're doing is valuable. You're also building up who you are in their head so they can see you and you can do your persuasion marketing and you can show your story. But then again, it doesn't require you. Yes, there is, of course, there's a little bit of a learning curve with everything. So a lot of you guys are learning the messages and things like that. But it's not as difficult as cold calling leads that have come through from an ad that don't know who you are. So that is why we're doing it this way. So again, just some general do's and don'ts. You may not want to do the ad that we're doing forever. So I just thought I'd help you understand ads and why we're doing it this way or what to do. First of all, with any ad, like I said, you have to just make it as convincing as humanly possible for somebody to click on it. That is the sole job of the ad. Like you're just selling like the next step. If I use the board, right, think of it this way. Like imagine this is like an eyeball. If I draw this. So this is like the first time they see you and this is them selling. Nobody clicks on an ad and just buys. Like between them clicking on the ads, they've got to opt into the ads, they've got to speak to you, they've got to book a call, they've got to take the call, they've got to make the payment. So everything in this journey of like trying to get a customer is you're just selling the next step, you're just selling the next step. So that's why in the ads, all you're doing is just literally making it as convincing as possible for them to click on it. You're selling the click, that's what you're doing essentially. A big thing that I think we do and why I tell you to do it, always call out your client in the first 3 seconds maximum. Again, there's so many ads out there. If they don't see it's for them straight away, there's no reason that they're going to sit there and watch your content. So that's why in the first line of all the ads, it's like, if you're this person with this problem, with this goal, this is for you. That's why that's there. So always do that.
Can I just ask a question?
Yeah.
It was my question for later, but I can ask it now.
Go for it.
You said that. When do you know when that ad has run its lifetime? So at the moment, I'm getting, and I love the tracker because it does help them see that. But is there then a noticeable drop off? Is it maybe there's a series of things that you're not getting the right people? Maybe what is it? When do you know when is the right time to change that?
Yeah, an answer which isn't a great answer is you will just know.
Yeah.
Because the way that you'll know is it will just stop, pretty much.
Okay.
Like even,
Stop performing.
like it will just slowly start dialing out. So that's why we track it to see. Like first of all, with the ads you're doing, you should only base it on a 7-day basis minimum.
Yeah.
But then like, let's say you're getting 20 followers a day, it will go to 10 and then it will start going to 5 and the conversations will disappear. But what I will say, and the reason I'm also getting you to do it this way, is I've never seen a winning one of these ads ever drop off. Now, when you do them the other way, where you get people to like opt in and give their email and their phone number, the ad drops off. It can drop off quick. Like when I do ads that way, I have to constantly renew them.
Yeah.
But like again, going back to like the longest one I've ever seen running was that lady Susanna. She ran it for 9 months, and the only reason it stopped was because she randomly decided to change her card on the account and it shut it off because she made the change. But then because the messaging was good and we knew who it was, we made another one and it carried on again, so it's fine. But to answer your question, you will just stop getting followers and still stop getting conversations, but it shouldn't happen. And if it does, it's an easy fix. You've signed people on through the ad, you know who the avatar is now, you just remake another advert with the same sort of messaging. So yeah, that's that. And then some other do's and don'ts. Again, like I said, going back to that line, don't sell the coaching. The coaching's at the end of the line, we're at the start of the line, so just sell the click. That's all you're doing with the ad. Again, like make it really simple to like actually listen to the advert. Like it's an overlooked thing to do when you're advertising, but don't make people think about what you're saying or process it. Like I've seen some ads before where they're like really difficult to digest and you're trying to think about what they're saying. So like when you're advertising, just make the actual grammar and the sentences easy. And that is why I get you all to put it into Hemingway, and it just tells you the complexity of the sentences because it just makes it easy to consume and to take it in. So for Anne and Taff who don't know what that is, it's just like an app where you can put like scripts in of adverts or content, and it just shows you how complex the grammar is and the sentences. So it's just a little tool to use to help you out. It's called Hemingway.app, I believe it's called, if you want to have a look at it. So that's that. And then last two, do's and don'ts. Again, you're selling the outcome, so clarity on the exact outcome of clicking. Why should they click? What's the benefit to them? You're selling the outcome of it. And then, again, use the persuasion marketing bits as well that I said. So throw the rocks. Like in that ad that we was talking about earlier, coaches, stop using funnels, I'm throwing a rock. catches the attention, gets you to click essentially. And then the structure of an ad in general, doesn't matter what type of ad you're running, asking people to follow, asking people to opt in, asking people to go on a landing page to buy like a little course or whatever it is. This is the general structure I would just follow, and then what you put within that is just based on your avatar. So hook, you either just call them out. If you're this person with this problem looking for this, this is for you. Or you use the persuasion marketing. So coaches, stop using funnels, you know who it's for, and I'm throwing a rock. List out some pain points. So with your ads, you can qualify who comes through by talking about the pain points that they have. So like James, for example, instead of James talking about anybody who's looking to get into football, he can talk about people who are already in a career wanting to change instead of uni students who want a job. So you can use this to qualify the person that clicks as well. Offer and call to action. So what is the benefit of them clicking, and tell them what to do. So spell it out what they have to do. Follow me to get XYZ outcome. Or if you run ads where it's like for a lead magnet, for example, you can say like press learn more below, because that's the button that comes up. So spell it out for them to get XYZ. Again, that first section is usually convincing enough, and people will click by them. The right people will click. But then the reason, again, all of you have got social proof near the end of your ads is because sometimes people aren't convinced by here. So we just go, well, look, I've done it for this person. They were stuck here and they got to this point, and I've also done it for this person. So it makes it more convincing. And then again, you just spell it out for them what to do next. So that's any ad structure, no matter what you do. And then the one thing I've found in terms of scripting ads is just make sure you use the exact language that the client avatar uses. So speak like you're them. And so like now when you're writing new ads, all of you have got the right people coming through. So you can look at your DMs, you can look at your sales calls, you can look at the exact language that they're using, and you can just plug that into an ad. So the way that I write a lot of my ads now is I will, for example, get my sales calls, I'll download them, I'll transcribe them all, I'll put them into ChatGPT, and I'll just say, can you list out the key similarities of language that each of these coaches are using? I want to create an advert with it. And it will just pump out for me like a few common points that people have said. So like a key word that comes to mind is like frustrated. That's a massive word that a lot of people will come to me with, frustrated. So that's a good thing that you can start to do, and especially as you start getting more people through the door, use your sales calls and your conversations you're having in the DMs as inspiration to carry on building. Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, it's funny you said that, because I remember speaking to that person that I was using at the time.
Yeah.
And I sort of proper spilled my heart out to him.
Yeah.
And then that evening, there was a video on him, so I was like, he's literally talking about me.
Yeah, that's why he's done it.
Literally, like,
Yeah.
talking about me and all my problems. Well, he didn't say it was me, but I did.
Yeah, that's why they do
He
it.
said, yeah, and he's like, are you struggling with this? Blah, blah, blah. Mate, that's no problem. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, because there's probably someone else like you, and he knows that. So obviously, yeah, you should never say who it is.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, yeah.
I knew it's like literally that evening.
Yeah.
There's all these fresh problems I thought.
Yeah, well, that's, to be honest with you, I do it as well. Like, even with some of the calls when I jump off of them with you, if like some of you are talking about a topic, I'm like, okay, I'm making a video on this. Because the problems you have, somebody else has. So and it's going to be the same for all of you. That's why you've got, and that's also why we have a niche, because then it makes everything else easy. The content becomes easy because you can use that as inspiration. The ads become easy. So, yeah, that's why he's done it.
Technical question then.
Yeah.
Is there a really easy way of downloading your DM messages?
The DMs, no.
Calls you can transcribe.
Yeah,
it's okay,
the
but
DMs, I personally don't know an easy way. I do it the pretty boring way of screenshotting it or just sieving through the good conversations I've had. I don't know if any, yeah, Anthony?
No, I was just going to go back on what you said, about what you were saying about the guy who did the video. And to be honest, that information that they get, that he's got from you, is the goal, because I've done that with my clients. In fact, what made me change my whole niche was a chief exec who said to me that she didn't know she was doing a good job. And for me, I just couldn't understand why someone who was the chief executive didn't know if they were doing a good job. So if that's the language that she's using, other people are thinking that as well.
Yeah.
So I simply used that as an ad, and I wrote a whole piece on, do you think you're good enough? Or forget the actual, more or less what I just said there. But I think that's where you're, going back to what you said, Alexi, where you're actually using their words.
Yeah, yeah.
Because that's what they're saying. I using the sort of language that I think they should be, understanding. And so, you use all the sort of corporate jargon, and people don't want to hear the corporate jargon.
Yeah.
They just want to hear, I've got a problem, I don't know if I'm doing a good job, or if I've got a problem struggling with X. That's the jargon
Yeah.
that they want to hear. They don't want to hear all the other BS stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, at the end of the day, they just want to know you get them, and that's the best way to do it.
Yeah,
Really.
I've got a confession to make. I actually did it on one of my videos. Because one of the guys I was going to meet, he fell off his bike, he was in a lot of pain, and I was like, why don't you take your bike? He's like, because it really hurt. And I said, that's what relapse does.
Yeah.
You're paying to be in pain. And then I did a video on it. I didn't say the
Yeah,
bike,
yeah.
but I said, like,
Yeah.
you'll fall over and break
Yeah, yeah.
your leg, but then you
Yeah, use
stay
it.
away
It's,
from it.
yeah. There's nothing wrong with it. It's,
No, but
yeah.
no, it's really good.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, your content can be in objections as well. So if you're hearing the same like phrases on sales calls, and I think you mentioned this a little bit as well, Lee. So if you're hearing the same things, create content on it, and if you use the persuasion marketing, you can make them. Then you can instill how they should be thinking about it. So I think you've had what's the common thing you're getting? They're not ready.
Yeah, I'm getting people who and it's not the right time. They're not ready. They're overthinking, spiraling around all the problems they do have, miserable with it, but stuck, and they can't see that they could perhaps change something, and it doesn't have to be a big change, but it is a change that's needed.
Yeah.
And so trying to get them to just move that way rather than just thinking, well, this is my lot. So that's the kind of next
Yeah.
thing for me. Like it or lump it. This is the hand I've been dealt, but I'm miserable.
Yeah.
But you're 55. You could live to 95. What you going to carry on like this?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's good. Yeah, exactly. And there's loads of different ways you can use the content and stuff, so that's good. So what I'll show you now, I did say it's okay, we can run over, we can have the dessert sitting, doesn't matter. They're not here anyway, so it doesn't matter. But what I wanted to show you was the retargeting ads. So no one's done this yet. It's a new thing. I wanted to test it out myself first before showing you guys. Right, so give me a sec with the tech now to just flip this over. But essentially retargeting ads, what they are is, okay. So retargeting ads, what they are just a way of getting back in front of people's faces who have already seen you and opted in. So what will happen is that, let me just show you and I'll explain it. So what you'll need to do is you can't do it as a boost post this. We need to go on the ads manager. Again, you can access that through Facebook. You can just type in on Google Ads Manager. I'm pretty sure everyone here has their Facebook and their Instagram connected, so it will be fine. If you don't, it's an easy fix, and we can do that techie bit after. Yeah, we can sort that out. But essentially, this is I believe you can still get on there, I think. We can double check. If not, we can. It's an easy result, so it's fine. Okay, so this is the Ads Manager. This is what it looks like. But what we can do, right, is we can get people back in who have clicked on our stuff before, who have shown interest, and stay in front of their face. So we can add like the beaker approach becomes stronger because they're already seeing you and stay in front of you with the content, but now we're running ads to them to give them an action to stay in front. So if you've ever clicked on something and been followed around the internet by this company, you had that, you've like gone on like a car website and for the next month you're just seeing cars. This is why. And we're going to do it not as in such an annoying way, but as a way to get people in front. So how to do it, I'll show you how, and then we'll get into it like from the tech side. So what you do is you come on here. On the left-hand side, it says audiences. So if you press on that, it will bring you to this page. So I've already made them for myself, but I'll do it again. But what you can do is where it says create audience in the top left, click on this, you press custom audience. And now what it's going to do is it's going to give you a bunch of options of who to send ads to. And so now we're going to make the audience. So there's 3 different ways really that we can do it. So the first, well, there's 4. You can do website, but you need a pixel and it's more technical. So I'd say leave that to start with. The first way is your Instagram account. So if we click on it, what you will see here is you select your Instagram profile at the top and you go everyone who's engaged with this profile. And you've got some different options. You can say anyone who started following, anybody who's visited, anyone who's engaged with a post. So you can pick how intimately you want them to have seen you before you send these ads to them. So you select that. So for example, if you've got tons of followers and you'd rather just send ads to people who already know you and are following, you can just press anybody who's started following this account, just make a name for it and you save it. So now you've created this audience, and I'll show you how to send ads to them in a moment. So that's one way you can do it. The other way you can do it is if any of you have an email list here, and GT, this is what I was talking to you about earlier. If you've got an email list, you can upload the list. You click on here, you upload your list, and you can then send ads to them as well. So we can do it to multiple people at once. And the third way you can click is you can select your advert, and you can go on people who have watched the ad for like 75% of it. So you know they're people, if you're watching a video for 75% of it, you're interested in it. And you can resend ads to these people. So now what that will do is this platform will find all of those people that have made those engagements, whether they're on your list, whether they've come to your Instagram, whether they've watched the video for a certain amount of time, and it will create audiences, right? And so once you save them, they will show up in a list like here. And again, if you don't remember this first time, don't worry, I'll go over it again. I'm going to create a training on it as well. And then what you do is, if you come to campaigns here, you press new campaign, create. You're going to go to leads here. I'll show you some setting stuff. So you can do ad set budget instead of campaign budget. Give it a name if you want to change the name of it. In the ad set level, all you need to touch is your budget. So budget for retargeting ads is about 10 to 20% of your normal budget. So if you're spending £7 a day, you're spending £1 to £2 on the retargeting. If you're spending 30 a day, you're spending £3 to £6. You don't need it doesn't need a lot because it's not going to cold people. It's just resending it to the same people. And then what you would do is down here, you just put in the audience you've just made. It will come up. So as you can see here, if I click on my custom audiences I've just made, I've got website visitors, I've got Instagram engagers, so I could click that, for example. And that's all you need to do. Just change the budget and select the audience. And then you make the ad, right? And I'm going to show you now how to make the ad and how to script it and what I'd recommend you do.
It's a different ad.
Yes, this will be different, yeah. But what this will do now is anybody who's engaged with you and is showing interest and is, like I say, has reached out and messaged you and disappeared, or has followed you and didn't respond to your opener, or has just followed you and hasn't taken any action, you're now going to constantly be front of mind for them. So you're now you're building out that beacon, you're making it stronger, you're keeping yourself front of mind, and you're making it more likely that people convert. So what the other way it's going to help you is conversations you're actively having with people, they're going to keep seeing these adverts as well. So it's going to remind them to respond, and it's going to keep them warmer. Sales calls that are coming up as well, they're going to keep seeing your ads, so more likely for them to turn up. So it's just a way that you can just add depth to what we're doing and keep it instead of so top level, right? So I'm going to show you now like the script and how you can do it and what you can offer in that advert. But does anybody have any questions?
I do. I've already got a custom audience, which I think is warm leads, which is mail, email list, something like Instagram followers, and I think I uploaded my mail list.
Yeah.
Presumably, I don't think it's a live link between the mailing list, is it? You actually have to.
Yeah, if you've got more, you have to re-upload it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. That was my question.
Yeah, the stuff that's within Instagram and Meta, like followers, that populates it on its own.
Yeah,
It will do it for you.
it's on.
So the list, you have to redo it. And then what I was saying to GT earlier, the other way you can use this is you can start creating a connection between followers and also building an email list, which I'll show you now. So that's the setup of it. Again, if you didn't remember it, don't worry. I'm going to show you again how to do it later on in the platform, but that's the setup.
Just one question.
Yeah.
So I had quite a lot of followers before I started this. So I don't know. One thing that's been in my head is I don't know if they come to my page. So would a retargeting advert go out to like everybody who's following me? So even if they might not come to my page for a year or something, it could be relevant what I do
Yeah.
now.
So
Would it go to everybody? Or?
So let me just get rid of this quick. So yeah, if we go back to audiences, when you create a new custom audience, if I select Instagram, you see this, 365 days. So for example, if you think the followers before are random, you can just put people who have engaged in the last 90 days. So how long has the ad been running? 3 months? 2, 4?
Just in its third month now.
So you could put audience retention 90 days, so that they came 90 days ago, essentially.
So you wouldn't necessarily put it, I was thinking the opposite of like going back a crazy number of days, almost like to cleanse the followers.
Yeah, you can.
See, like go back like a crazy number of days, because when I first started the Instagram account, I had a different bio, I was doing something different, so it kind of would cleanse them, but also some of them might actually find what I do now relevant. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah, you can. It's up to you. There's not really a right or wrong. It's whatever. Because I was more saying it like, if you feel like your followers before were random, and you don't want to send it to them, then you leave it. But if you want to just push it to everyone anyway, which doesn't hurt to, you might as well. Then you can just do 365.
Sorry, if you push it to more people, so let's say you do it back 3 years, for example.
I don't. 365 is the max.
Okay,
Yeah.
fine. So what I was going to say is, the longer the amount of days from 365 versus 90, does that not spread your ad spend over more people then?
Yeah, it will do. Yeah.
Yeah, so actually, if you know that the conversations that you're having are more relevant in the last 90 days, then
Don't do that.
365 days,
Yeah. So
surely you want to be
yeah.
sending it to those in the last 90 days.
Yeah.
Because actually that's when your page is performing better and they're more likely to be the
Yeah.
right people.
Yeah, and I'm all like close.
Yeah.
That's spot on. So it's.
So actually, yeah.
I don't think anyone. Is your organic audience good before the ads or not really?
On LinkedIn, yeah.
Insta, no.
No.
Okay, so I don't think anyone else really had. Like most people started with not many followers, so the sooner the better, really. I think. And then so that's how to set it up. And again, I can show you this again. But if we go back here, if I show you some examples.
Sorry, Alexa, just one.
Yeah, go for it.
About the email list.
Yeah.
From like a completely different platform you're talking about. Like, so I had one from a completely different platform.
Yeah.
You upload those
Yeah.
contacts into
Yeah. So whatever is it? What is it?
System.
So yeah. So it will let you export the list and you just upload it into there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how does it deliver the ads to people in the email?
So it will scan their name, their last name, their email that they're using, and it will match them to a Facebook user. That's how it does it. And then it sends it to that email or accounts related to that email. So then you can get ads in front of them. Yeah, it's really cool. So right, let me just switch this back.
Well, what you just said about that, so it tracks the email that's linked to the Facebook account for that first name, last name. Does that
Yeah.
make sense?
Yeah.
So wherever that email appears, basically, it's going to pop it up.
Yeah,
It'll be on the website and it'll come up in the ad.
No, it'll only be on Instagram,
Only on the
but it will just find that person
Okay. Oh,
within Instagram, if that makes sense. Again, some people it won't find, but it'll be a very small percent, and some people won't be on Instagram, but it's again very small percent. But you can just add that, because don't forget you've already got tons of followers that you can do it for. So the way to do it is, again, like we said, talking about the ads, we're just offering the value. So a really, really simple script. Like, it doesn't need to be complex. If you're this person with this pain and looking for this outcome, and you don't want to do these 3 things that you hate, you don't want to use funnels, you don't want to dance on camera like a monkey, and you don't want to, whatever you want to say, in terms of like things they don't like, you insert them, press the button below and message me this keyword, and I'll show you how to achieve outcomes. So what we can do with the add on the options is we can ask it to send a message. So again, I can show you that in the setup of it, but we can say, so you know at the moment it says visit Instagram profile at the bottom for them to follow. We can do it so it says send message. Then when they press send message, it puts them straight in your DMs. And then you start a conversation in the same way we've been doing. So it's just another way to get people in. And yeah, that's the script, really simple. Doesn't need to be more complex than that.
does it need to be sort of really edited or anything? Can it literally just be talking to the camera?
It can literally be this.
Yes. Oh, okay.
It can literally be like that.
Oh, right, oh my gosh. That's a picture.
I've just used a random picture of me. I just put something around. It can literally be as random as that. It's more the text of it.
You have to create that as a post though first, don't you?
You can create it on Canva and download it and then just upload it into
Into the app.
the ads manager.
Be on your grid.
No, it doesn't.
Oh, okay.
So I just created this on Canva. I just used a random picture of me. I used the same script I've just told you, and then I've had the call to action. So that's one way you can do it. The other way you can do it, yeah, feel free to take pictures of that if you want to. Again, I'll send you this after, but take it if you want. The other way you can do it is you can just have written text. If you want, you can do a video. It doesn't really matter. As long as you get the messaging across, that's the main thing.
And do any of those options give better return? Like video versus that versus just text?
I've run ads this year which have been, so I know Anthony and Maria came through the written ads. It was just, I don't know if you remember, but it was just it was a picture with just some tech, like a plain background with just some writing on, and that performed well. Others have come from the video. It's,
I suppose you could actually, if we're doing retargeting ads, you could have more than one retargeting ad. So you could do text, picture with text, and video, because I suppose they'll all appeal to different.
and what you can do in the way I showed you in the setup is, because the way we're doing it at the moment, you can only run one ad at a time to know if it's working. You have to. But with these ads, you can run multiple creatives at once. So a creative is this or a video. So you can do multiple and test and see what works. And the ones that aren't working, you just cut them and turn them off. But that's one way you can do it.
How long do you have to run these before you turn them off? Like, different to the other, how long would you run a creative for before? Is it a week or a month?
Depends on your, I would leave these rolling. To be honest with you, I would just leave these rolling alongside your ads that are up, always, because it's just going to get them in front, and you will get people who haven't responded to you or haven't booked in a call or who disappeared coming back because they keep seeing this. It's not something you need to add on instantly. Like, all of you are doing well with your ads. Everyone that's got an ad up is doing well with the ad here without this. So you don't have to implement it immediately, but it's something that you can eventually add on, if that makes sense. And then what you can offer, right, this is how we can start getting smart with it as well. What you can offer is a few different things. You can get them to message you, and you can say, I'll see how I can help or whatever, and you can just start a conversation. You can offer them a free lead magnet, for example. So this is now, instead of doing this to a cold audience, you can now offer them a lead magnet and now get their email address and now start building your list that way. But it's the list of the right people that you know are interested in you and are the right. So you're not building a random email list. Now you're building a targeted email list. So yeah, like I say, option one is you offer them to just have a conversation, or you can say like, I'll see how I can help you, or I've got something that can help, whatever you want to say it. Option two, what have I said there? So here I've said, I'll show you how to build the client base you deserve. I could just start a conversation with them. The other option is press the button below, message me, lead, and in the settings of it, it will pop up and they just have to press lead and it will go straight to your DMs. And I'll show you, and I'll send you a free PDF to show you how to achieve X, Y, Z. So then if you start doing that, then once they click it, they go, great, what's your email? Where would you like me to send this to you? And now you're building an email list, and now it's not just followers, now it's an email list, but an email list of proper interesting people. So this is how we can then step it up. And then the way you can do it backwards, right, is your email it, and this might only apply to people that already have an email list, but if you already have an email list, you can send emails offering free trainings or PDFs or lead magnets in exchange, and in exchange for them following. So what I did is I had tested some ads where I got people to opt in with an email and phone number, because I'm always testing different things to see what's going to work best. And so I had people who weren't following me on Instagram, but I just had their email. So I did an email out and just said, if you want a training on this, this, and this, follow me, message me this keyword, I'll send it to you. And I got like 20 new followers off of that, of people who were just sitting on that. And doesn't mean they converted straight away. I got a couple of calls out of it, but the thing it did for me is it got people to see me in another way. So now I'm front of mind in another way. And then if you add on the retargeting ad to that, they're seeing your content, they're seeing the retargeting ad, and you're getting your emails, then you really start creating like a proper ecosystem essentially. But that's the retargeting ads essentially.